Hello, and welcome to this week's Politicality. We have our poll up, which we normally do now, and we also have a ton of stuff to cover, especially covering Bondi and that insane hearing yesterday. Oh, good lord. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
damn
Hi
it.
everybody. And
Hello.
the let's we'll give everybody a few minutes that's over watching at Embers or whatever if they
Hmm.
want to come in. I'll go over here to the poll and put it up. You could vote in the chat with hashtag A, B, C, or D. I think you have to use a capital letter, but I'm not sure. Anyway, why did the Turning Point USA halftime show with Kid Rock fail so hard? A, it's hard to watch through holes in bed sheets. B, Charlie Who. C, Kid Rock is a washed up loser. Or D, incompetence is their thing. Yeah. So vote in that, and we will look at the results a couple times throughout and give everybody a
Hmm.
chance to see it and everything along the way and vote if they want to. And but yeah, so the why is everybody ignoring the Dow? Yeah, um,
Everybody's ignoring the Dow.
yeah.
Damn it.
It was the funny thing about, and we're talking about Pam Bondi quite a bit today. So um,
Hmm.
I'm not hearing. Is it me? Yeah, it's you. I believe
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, it would be.
But
Hey, Seth.
the So uh, we'll actually start with talking about the turning point thing here in just a minute, but we're
Mhm.
gonna spend most of the time today and probably run out of time today talking about Pam Bondi um, humiliating herself in front of the House Oversight Committee.
Yeah, it was. I've seen some pretty unhinged hearings because I'm a political junkie and watch a lot of the hearings. But oh my god, that was that was probably the craziest one I've ever seen, and that's saying something.
Yeah, yeah, that was well. It I had all kinds of other stuff that I was preparing for the show, and then whenever I went over and watched that, I was like, oh well, this will have to be what we talk about tomorrow because this
Oh
is
yeah.
um, I wanted to kind of cover it fast. By the time Sunday gets here, every channel that talks political and half of them that don't will have covered every bit of this. I imagine because
Mhm.
it's a disaster in motion. The Yeah, but anyway, so
Yeah.
the Turning Point USA thing. Um, Whenever I put up the poll, nothing had came out about this really yet, but it was obvious that Kid Rock lip synced his way through at least the first song, and
Mm.
um, it was, of course, the funny thing to watch on social media is all of the snowflakes that are like, it was the best show ever made, and all this stuff, and it got I think 7 million views, and I would guess half of those were from haters. And
Mm.
The Bad Bunny show got like 140 million views, 140 some million views. Like,
Mhm.
um, it was not even close. But that's why, like, the Super Bowl's decision to put Bad Bunny on, regardless of what you think of Bad Bunny, is a business decision. It's not a radical woke left blah blah whatever. Like
Yeah.
it's a business decision. Bad Bunny's one of the biggest artists in the world, and
Yeah.
so you put on there what's popular with the people and that they're gonna want to see. Yes, 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 I agree. Um,
Kip has opinions.
yeah, after a different kind of Bad Bunny. The But yeah, so of course everybody though was like, I even seen, and I said something to some local people here that were like, Kid Rock got on stage and he sung about God and all this other stuff, and I was like, yeah, but he also like sings about like having sex with underage girls too. So like, what are you trying to say? Like, because he says God a couple times in a couple songs, that this was some religious thing or what? You're muted.
Oh yeah, I just said no kidding. Yeah, sorry, my dogs were being loud there for a moment.
Yeah. Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens. Native Atheist has it there. That's the hilarious thing is leading up, and I think they became aware, most of them anyway, like
Hmm.
right before they were like, "Well, I'm going to watch Kid Rock. I don't know why they have to have these foreigners on and stuff." Like, um, Puerto Rico, not a foreign country. It's part of America.
Oh yes, because Kid Rock is just so godly.
Yeah. Yeah, Kid Rock is the when I when I think gospel music, I think Kid Rock.
Mm.
Um, which is funny. I actually went to a Kid Rock concert like years ago and wasn't all that impressed. Many years ago, okay.
I was about to say, I think I missed all of them because I think he was getting popular right around the time that I started going to concerts, but I think I just miraculously missed all the concerts through here. I was never super impressed with him from the get go, so
Well, now the I didn't go. Why did I go to that concert?
probably because there
So
was somebody else who was awesome who was there.
there was other people playing, but I had been at the time. So I live close to a to what I forget what it's called. I think it's the Big Sandy Superstore Arena now is what it's called, but
Hmm.
is like it's in Huntington, West Virginia, which I'm not even allowed in that state now, so I don't go there anymore. But there was like if you could get tickets though for like whatever series, like the summer series or whatever, and go see
Hmm.
multiple things at like discounted prices and stuff. So you would still pay like a price of I
Yeah.
guess whatever the cut was that they were taking of the gate or whatever. So you were still paying some of that, but it was heavily discounted. And anyway,
Hmm.
um, I had went like that year. I had went and seen a cover band from New Zealand called the Pink Floyd Experience that puts on like a Pink Floyd show and does like
Hmm.
flying pig and has the big jumbotron and all that crap. And I had went and seen right before that like a Leonard Skinner concert or something they did there. There was a couple things I went and seen, but anyhow, it wasn't very good then.
Hmm.
I wasn't really impressed. At that point, though, I had seen like several dozen concerts live of big names that I'd wanted to see, and Kid Rock's show was just not that great.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. Uh, so anyway, the riot and all the social media snowflakes out there
Hmm.
just was like it was the best thing ever happened was the Kid Rock show and all the other people that nobody knows who they are, and it. I didn't watch the whole thing. In fact, I didn't watch any of it when I put up the poll. I just
Hmm.
that I knew the numbers and I knew that it didn't do well, and so that the
Yeah,
poll is what
I
it is.
didn't. I did see the Bad Bunny one. I did not see the Kid Rock one, and I am glad I skipped it. I
the
can I can I can only handle so much insanity, and I think Pam Bondi hit that quota for me this week, or at least for the last couple days.
did you
Uh,
see? Did you see the? I think it was. I don't know which network it was on. I thought it was Fox, but it could very well be like OAN or whatever. But
mm,
they had some some representative uh, from the prosecutor's office saying, if we find out that he said what we think he said, uh, if he was saying cuss words and things in another language, we're going to prosecute him for it, and or maybe it was an FCC person or something, and it's like Spanish is
mm-hmm.
not like this language that can't be
Yeah,
interpreted.
like, and the thing that cracked me up is how many people were also sitting there saying like he is not American. Bitch, he's Puerto Rican. He's American. Like,
Yeah,
shut up. Like, just
yeah.
learn that. By the way, I want to say hi to Master Jedi. I have not seen you in ages, and hey, what's up? Glad you're here.
Yeah, well, let's say hi to several people out there. We got Al Trucker, um, KCA Randy, BS Lewis is here, Robin's here, Top Three. Hey, welcome, Jason. Come on, let's see, Aunt Jur,
Mm-hmm.
Right-Handed Sith, Kelly, Average Joe,
Mm-hmm.
Seth,
Seth's here.
Corey, Joe Dirt with the Kid
Mm-hmm.
Rock picture.
Hi, Joe.
Native
The other
Atheist.
Joe, Joe Dirt.
Yeah,
I see him pop up on like every channel I'm on. He pops up somewhere. I see him on the secular talk channel all the time.
yeah,
So
yeah. Who? Native Atheist?
no, Joe Dirt.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Um, yeah. Hey everybody, and thanks for coming and watching. And if I missed you, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, but I think I got about everybody that's out there. Um, it was a sinner who admitted he didn't know much Spanish, but claimed that Bad Bunny was saying things that violated the FCC rules. Yeah, that sounds better,
Mm-hmm.
Anchor. Yeah, that's hilarious. Like, um, just it's you could. I don't know. I don't think it would be hard to in real time. I mean, I could go and pull a translated transcript of the whole entire
Mm-hmm.
thing right now into probably one of many languages. Um,
Mm-hmm.
let's see. What's the question here? I'm curious than I care. I think that's I'm more curious than I care. But what happened at halftime with Kid Rock?
Absolutely
Um,
nothing. It was
yeah.
yeah.
Nobody watched it hardly, and the people that did said it was the most amazing thing they had ever seen because he sung about God. Because "Ball with the Wall" is apparently a religious song, and
Apparently.
so the big newsworthy thing of it though is that Kid Rock was obviously lip syncing, and
Mm-hmm.
it was and he when people pointed this out, he made it so much worse by swearing that he wasn't and doing this live thing at his house with his DJ where he wasn't at all doing this. It was just stupid. He brought so much more attention to it, and to the fact that he was doing. And he said, "Well, in the rough edit and all this stuff before,
Mm.
in the first edit, I told him you guys are going to have to fix that sync and all this other stuff." And it's like, um, it makes it seem like the show wasn't even live, which. But yeah, he got caught lip syncing and has thrown a whole fit and swears that he didn't and whatever. I feel sorry
Mm.
for MAGA, except they cause so much suffering. Yeah. Um, Bro was twitching like a meth head saying he didn't lip sync it. Sure, dude. Laughing my ass off. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad. It
Yeah.
was,
It was. Eh.
he
I,
Barbara
I
Streisand it.
haven't seen,
Yes.
like, he made it such a bigger deal. Like, it almost, like, the only, this is one of those halftime shows that I'm going to remember with Bad Bunny simply because of Kid Rock making this such a big deal. The only other halftime show that I can honestly remember is the Janet Jackson one, where she showed her boo on TV.
Yeah.
That's the only one I can remember.
Yeah. That one with Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake. That was 2005. Pretty sure. I don't even remember because I was a
Yeah,
kid.
I don't know. It was a long ass time ago. And of course, Fox News lost their fucking minds over it.
But yeah, the polls up for it. You can hashtag capital A, B, C, or D. Hard to watch through holes in the bed sheets. Charlie Who, Kid Rock is a washed up loser, or it's their incompetence. Is why did the Turning Point USA halftime show with Kid Rock fail so hard? So
We need a all of the above option on some of these.
yeah. Well, I just it's just a fun thing anyway. It
Hmm.
wasn't. I don't really care.
I don't
Um,
watch the Super Bowl like ever. I watched the Puppy Bowl.
yeah, yeah. I didn't watch any. I didn't watch any of
Yeah, I
it.
didn't watch
So,
anything this year.
yeah,
I usually watch the Puppy Bowl though, put on in the background or something.
yeah. So like when I was in high school and stuff, I played football for
Hmm.
years. And then after I was out of school, there was a couple years where I like kept up with football,
Mm.
but I haven't kept up with any sport in years and don't really care to anymore. And
The
um,
the only sport that I give a crap about is college football, and the only team I give a crap about is Texas Longhorns, and the only game I care about is the Red River Showdown. That's it. I just want to beat OU every year, and other than that, whatever. But that
yeah,
one game is the one game I care about.
OU or Ohio State?
OU, Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I,
we
I,
stomped them this year, so I've got a year of bragging rights.
I should have thought about that from where you're at. That OU for you is Oklahoma.
Mm,
Um, yeah. The I was gonna say I don't think the Ohio Bobcats are.
no,
uh,
no, it's the
the
Oklahoma Sooners. Yeah. I don't even
now
like driving through Oklahoma, to be honest.
now I did like college football for a little bit because I knew some people that played and things that
Hmm.
I had played either with or against in school and stuff like that. So there was like there was some reason to have an interest in it. People around here are crazy about Kentucky basketball, college basketball, but I don't watch that either. I could give a shit less. Um, I still hate Texas, by the way. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, we can't all
Oklahoma
be
is basically
perfect.
Texas with weirder laws. Fair enough.
Yeah, that I will absolutely agree with. We got some weird shit going on here, but my Texas Longhorns, man, I love my Texas Longhorns.
Well, yeah. I mean, football's kind of a. I mean, it's a big thing in a lot of places, obviously, but Texas is especially known for being particular about their football. Which
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I don't. I'm not anti sports or people who like to watch sports or whatever. I just
Mm-hmm.
think that it's a distractive thing, though. I think that it's like I think it's meant to make you stupid. And that's a
Mm-hmm.
whole thing we can talk about some other time. That I get a little conspiratorial at times, so I think that all the hop and stuff around it. I don't think the football itself is meant to make you
Mm-hmm.
stupid. I think that all the hop and stuff surrounding it is meant
Yeah.
to make you sit and consume things that you don't think, and they can use psychology tricks to try and make you buy shit you don't need. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the Which is kind of that's true about everything, I suppose. I don't watch TV at all though in that sense. So um,
Yeah.
yeah. But all right, enough about that.
Right. Yeah, we've got a crazy ass hearing to get to. Holy
How,
shit.
how do you transition from that?
I don't know. I don't think anybody has a good transition because this shit is just bonkers. Like I've watched politics for 25 freaking years. I have watched more hours of C-SPAN than I care to admit. And this was so unhinged. I was like, what the hell am I watching through like the majority of it? Like it was fucking nuts.
Yeah, yeah. So this is probably one of the craziest and most humiliating and most just off the rails hearings that I've seen take place
Mm-hmm.
on Capitol Hill. And let's keep in mind, like Watergate's happened, and they've had the Kennedy hearings, and just
Mm-hmm.
all the crazy shit that's went on there. Marjorie Taylor Greene used to work there, and this is one of the craziest things I have seen. So, but this is we're going to start with Jamie Raskin's opening statement here, and
Mm-hmm.
this I did cut a little bit off of. For the most part, whenever we watch these others, though, it's the whole 5 minute section. So we'll break it up and stuff and pause where we need to. But
Yep.
Jamie Raskin kills it as usual here. So
Yeah, he
here we
does.
go.
You've been ordered by subpoena and by Congress to turn over 6 million documents, photographs, and videos in the Epstein files, but you've turned over only 3 million. You say you're not turning over the other 3 million because they're somehow duplicative, but we know that there are actual memos of victim statements in there. And you also took down the Department of Justice's prosecution memo from 2019. So it's clearly not all duplicative, but even if it were, why not release it? Just release all the duplicative stuff. In the half you did produce, you redacted the names of abusers, enablers, accomplices, and co-conspirators, apparently to spare them embarrassment and disgrace, which is the exact opposite of what the law ordered you to do. Even worse, you shockingly failed to redact many of the victims' names, which is what you were ordered to do by Congress. Some of the victims had come forward publicly, but many had not. Many had kept their torment private, even from family.
So just to tell you, and it gets talked about later in these, but a lot of the victims are there at this hearing, and the incompetence of
Yeah.
the DOJ and the FBI left their names all over in the place and all over the place in this, but they made sure that they redacted several of the co-conspirators and
Mm-hmm.
everything else, but left the victims' names out there. Not just their names, but their addresses, pictures. all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it was, and I know we'll probably get to it, but it was just like it was absolutely disgusting when the victim stood up. She wouldn't even turn around and fucking look at him. Wouldn't even fucking look at him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She didn't. She doesn't feel like that she owes them an explanation or anybody apparently. But
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, the thing that bothered me about a lot of what she did is she kept saying, "Well, what about this Justice Department? Like the previous president didn't do it, and then the previous president before that didn't do it." Like they kept going
yeah,
with that shit, and it's like,
bitch,
yeah,
you're the one
but
here
here's
now.
the thing. Yeah, it's your fucking problem now. You are fucking responsible. And
Yeah,
you are definitely responsible for these, like, complete horseshit redactions and lack of redactions that you guys basically just straight up shredded the law in order to do. It was just,
yeah,
like, it was unbelievable.
yeah,
It was an audience of one performance. That's what it was. It was an
yeah.
audience of one.
Right. Yeah, yeah, and we'll see that for sure. Well, I think I messed
Over
it up.
6 million documents, photographs, enablers, accomplices, and co conspirators, apparently to spare them embarrassment and disgrace, which is the exact opposite of what the law ordered you to do. Even worse, you shockingly failed to redact many of the victims' names, which is what you were ordered to do by Congress. Some of the victims had come forward publicly, but many had not. Many had kept their torment private, even from family and friends, but you published their names, their identities, their images on thousands of pages for the world to see. So you ignored the law, and even with over 100,000 employees at your disposal, you acted with some mixture of staggering incompetence, cold indifference, and jaded cruelty towards more than 1,000 victims raped, abused, and trafficked. This performance screams cover up, but it's even worse.
Yeah. So obvious cover up going on. It's been they've been trying to cover this up in every way possible from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Trump actually said that these files absolve him, and which is what he always does with everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
This shows that I did nothing wrong. Um, which is just crazy. The Jamie Raskin had talked about whenever they went and
Mm-hmm.
searched the files because the DOJ had said that they could come and look at the unredacted files, which ended up still being heavily redacted because they didn't bother to give the original files from the FBI to the
Mm-hmm.
DOJ. They
Yeah.
had already scrubbed them for Trump's name, and which they did a shitty job of that too. But they even in that though, whenever he searched the unredacted documents, he searched for Donald Trump and got over 1 million hits, which is insane. These are no longer the Epstein files; they're the Donald Trump files.
Yeah.
Like, uh, hit,
I mean, the thing is that the more that comes out about this and the more information we find out about it, it's like it's not just, I don't see how people could sit there and say, well, he was just friend with Epstein. There's no fucking way that he did not know not only what was going on, but exactly what was going on. And frankly, I think he was straight up smack dab in the middle of it. Like
yeah,
yeah, like he was. I frankly think he was pretty much funneling girls straight from Mar-a-Lago to Epstein. So,
well, also Trump had these pageants that he was heavily involved in, and tried to get a modeling agency going, and which he failed at every business. So
mm-hmm,
I think that, and I've always said from early on in this that you're going to find out that not only is Trump a pedophile, but that he was a major player in this. That
Yeah.
he was not just involved with the crimes against them, as far as I'm trying to dance around using certain words here.
Yeah.
But that he was orchestrating much of this, and was heavily involved. And I think that you're seeing more and more of that come to light. I think that's the picture that it's painting. I think that people are missing a whole lot of that, and
Hmm.
through some non-prosecution agreement for the co-conspirators, which I think is they're not going to honor in the end, is
Yeah.
Trump was able to avoid prosecution and things. Right now, the cope that we're getting from right wingers is that, well, there's this one document that says that Donald Trump told the Palm Beach police chief that uh, after they had uh, started investigating Epstein and he was caught. He told him that, yeah, Jeffrey Epstein, everybody knew about Jeffrey Epstein doing this, and Ghislaine's evil too, and you need to watch Ghislaine. She's doing all these things. And it's like, if the funny thing about it is that MAGA people are just so
Yeah.
close-minded, I guess. I want to say stupid, that dumb, that they see that and they're like, oh well, see, and they've went as far as
Hmm.
to say that he's the one that got Jeffrey Epstein busted, which that's not true. This was after
No.
he was already caught. The
Hmm.
But they say, well, see, this shows that Trump was trying to help the police, and he was telling them about Jeffrey Epstein and stuff. This was in a
I mean,
private phone conversation one time, and if Trump says he knows about all these things, why did he continue to have ties with Epstein even after his conviction and stuff? Why did he not? He said he's told everybody very publicly several times that we were both from Palm Beach. I just knew who he was. I wasn't, really involved with him. Why
yeah.
was he going and doing interviews where he said Jeffrey's such a terrific guy and he likes younger girls? Um, why was
Hmm.
you know Donald
Yeah.
Trump
It was.
furthered the problem, if anything?
I think the problem, the biggest thing on this, especially like all this coming out now, that's the kind of that shows you exactly is it, and I cannot believe that I am quoting this woman, but Marjorie Taylor Greene, what she said that Trump told her on the phone whenever she was signing the law to make these files public was, "My friends are going to get hurt." Like,
Yeah,
no shit, dude. Because all of you guys are all over these fucking files. All of you are.
yeah. It's so Ro Khanna read 6 names from the
Mm-hmm.
House floor the other day that they had gotten from the unredacted files, and
Yeah.
the it's kind of interesting that all of those people are from the area. They're from Qatar and from the
Mm-hmm.
UAE and all those things, and that's where Trump's doing all of his business and stuff now. And
Yeah.
um, I think that Trump's people, at the very least, are smart enough to tell him, like, you stay clear of anybody that can be tied to you, But
Yeah.
um,
One thing
Trump's,
I do want to mention real quick, just for anybody that doesn't know or doesn't remember or anything, is the reason Ro Khanna read those out on the House floor is because there's actually a law saying that lawmakers cannot be prosecuted for things they say on the floor, like if it's classified or something. Um, uh, it was back in like the Vietnam era too that came into play, and I am totally skipping
speech and
on.
debate clause.
Yeah, thank you. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was completely blanking on what it was. But yeah, so he could go out there and say whatever he wanted and can't be prosecuted for it. So
Yeah. It's I think that you'll see more come from those names though. Like
It looks like you're referencing a
once people
conversation where
start.
people are venting.
I don't know why my phone just did that, but okay. Sorry.
Thank you. But no, I think those names, as people start investigating who those people are, because they're not household names, they're not names that you would be familiar with. I don't even remember any of them. But other than the Larry Wexner,
Yeah.
the CEO of
Victoria's Secret.
Victoria's Secret, yeah. But they're just not common names, and I think as people start digging into that, though, there'll be some interesting stuff come out. We'll see. All right, let's get on to the second part of this here.
You've turned the People's Department of Justice into Trump's instrument of revenge. Trump orders up prosecutions like pizza, and you deliver every time. He tells you to go after James Comey, Letitia James, Lisa Cook, and Jerome Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve Board, and members of Congress like Adam Schiff, Mark Kelly, Alyssa Slotkin, Chrissy Houlihan, Jason Crow, Chris Deluzio, and Maggie Goodlander, to name a few, and you snap to it. You replace real prosecutors with counterfeit stooges who robotically do the president's bidding. Nothing in American history comes close to this complete corruption of the justice function and contamination of federal law enforcement. And the good news—
Yeah, that's the corruption is obvious.
Yeah.
The Go ahead.
Like, yeah, like it's one of those things. I knew this was probably going to be the most corrupt administration we've ever seen and probably ever will see. But oh my God, this is something that I was talking about last night. Was I think one thing that has caused one of the reasons why there has been so much backlash to this administration, even from Republicans, even from conservatives, is I think they did a little bit too much too fast. And that goes with everything. I mean, that goes with like the ICE raids, it goes with like the international relations, goes with the tariff shit, and it goes with like the Epstein shit, and it goes with just like all the blatant fucking corruption that everybody's just like, whoa, what the hell? Like, they didn't give people time to get used to, this shit being in the news all the time. It was just like, bam, everything's corrupt. And so, yeah, there's a lot of pushback against it, which I'm happy to see.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the biggest mistake that this administration made is they did too much too fast.
Yeah. Did I butcher that name, Aunt Jer? Because I feel like now that I'm looking at it, that's
yeah.
not
You did, but I couldn't remember what it was.
Sorry. That's what happens. My bad. So this leading into this next clip, though, and this is the Ted Lieu clip. Did I get his name right? Yes. If you look here, you see all this stuff that Pam Bondi has laid out. So I didn't play the part of it from the openings, but they'd seen her interaction with the Senate, and so they referred to a burn book, which was her having attack lines and stuff ready for each Democrat. Which another one of the things that makes this such a shit show is every time a Republican would speak, she was just so nice and smiling and friendly, and she has a weird cadence to the way that she talks that like it gives me anxiety. I think like it's the way that it's not her voice, and it is the things that she says, but it's the way that it's the cadence and the way that she talks is very strange to me.
Yeah.
And it, I don't know, but she was like just as nice, and oh yes, thank you for doing such a wonderful job, and all this other stuff to all the Republicans, who, by the
Mhm.
way, I didn't include the only Republican portion that I included was Thomas Massey. But
Mhm.
the
I'll give him kudos for what he's doing on the Epstein files.
yeah, I mean,
I mean, I hate just about everything else he's ever done, but on the Epstein files, glad to have him on board.
we'll see. In Kentucky, we've got this a few weird things that go on with Kentucky being a red state. Like,
Hmm.
most of the districts are red, but population wise, it's a lot closer. And
Yeah.
so, uh, Thomas Massey and Ron Paul and or Rand Paul, however you want to say his name, they they kind of have to they kind of have to you know they they're Republicans, and I disagree with them on almost everything.
Hmm.
But at the same time, like, they're getting a lot of pressure from people in Kentucky, and Thomas
Yeah.
Massey's doing what's right here and things, as far as calling this out, and a big part of the discharge petition, and now all this stuff. And that's, at least because I think there's going to be a lot of fallout for the Republican Party. I mean, they're going to lose their
Oh yeah.
ass in the midterms, provided we have them. Um,
Yeah. Oh, and here's the thing with midterms. I think we're absolutely going to have him. I think he's going to try like hell to steal him, though. Um, I do the past couple special elections, which Democrats have outperformed on every single one. I think if those are any indications, I think it's going to be the numbers are going to be too big for them to go in there and just start throwing out votes, because they're going to have to throw out so many votes that it's going to be extremely obvious what they're doing. And
yeah.
I don't think the people are going to deal with that.
Well, I mean, I don't know. So I don't know that Trump gives a shit. He
No,
sees
he doesn't.
himself as having absolute power, and which Congress is kind of pushing back. They at least in the House voted against him on tariffs against Canada, um,
Yeah.
and so there
I
kind of seems to be a swing against him, because if they have any hopes of being reelected, they're going to have
mhm.
to they're going to have to go against Trump, because
I mean,
he's so unpopular.
yeah, and one thing that I have absolutely hated about watching the Republican Party over the last 10 years, and even frankly a bit before that, but I mean, like, Congress showed this pretty well during the Obama administration, but it hasn't been the case since then. But that Congress was always very like, no, we are our own branch of government. We are co equal. You don't run this branch. And for a long time, the Supreme Court was like that too. And now both are pretty much wholly owned by Trump at this point. But I think at least a good thing is, I think, like, yeah, Congress is finally starting to get their spine back. And there's some, I'm not convinced, but there's some indication that the Supreme Court might be getting its spine back a little bit too. So,
Yeah, well, I think that they seen Trump as this, especially because of his base that was so loud and outspoken. Anytime
mhm,
that they didn't do what Trump wanted, and Trump had so much support on even the worst policy ideas and stuff from a large portion of the Republican base. but now he doesn't. And people are, whenever, the thing that they didn't count on is that you can stand and lie to people about inflation and jobs and all those other things, but whenever people can't afford to buy food because the price of everything is going so high,
Yeah.
people start to notice that. Like
Yeah.
whenever they can't afford health care anymore, they start to take notice of things like that.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it goes back to like the adage that I've heard multiple people say is you cannot lie to people about their own damn pocketbooks. You just can't. Because I know how much I get paid a week. I know how much my groceries are. I know how much my bills are. And I know how much I'm supposed to have left over at the end of the week. And if I don't have that, then I started looking back at my grocery prices and my bills, and I noticed real quick what is going up in price and how much it's going up. You cannot sit there and say to, whoever does the grocery shopping, egg prices are dropping like mad. Eggs are the cheapest they've ever been. No, they're fucking not. We know that.
yeah, it's the price of eggs was and eggs are cheap now, to be fair, but like
Yeah,
everything else
but
isn't.
yeah,
Have you seen the price of beef? Oh my god.
it it's insane. I thankfully do not have to get my beef from the grocery store. We actually my family actually knows somebody here who has their own beef herd, so we
Yeah,
get really good cattle for not market value. but yeah, it's like I've seen the stores and it's insane. Like when we go and get like chicken and stuff, it's ridiculous.
yeah,
And I mean, like I straight up told my kids, I'm like, you guys have got to stop drinking sodas because they're just getting absurdly expensive. It's just
yeah.
insane.
Yeah, prices are going through the roof on lots
Hmm.
of things, and people notice that, and they're not happy about it, of course.
Mm-mm.
Trump, wants to say that everything's gone down and things, and it's obviously not true. Beef prices are actually not Trump's fault. Yeah, it doesn't. I would. I'm kind of push back on that and say it's still related to the same thing, but the not as directly as the other things. Um,
Hmm.
anyway, all this stuff that Pam Bondi has laid out here, part of this is, and it came out after the hearing, is the DOJ had actually spied on these congressmen and
Yeah.
women who went and viewed these files. And
Hmm.
what she has their search history so that they know what they looked at and what they're going to say, and she's prepared attacks against them and everything for this, which several of them argue about this being a violation of separation of powers, which I think I can understand. But
Hmm.
anyway, this is Ted Lieu talking to Pam Bondi, and he sets up the perfect trap and gets her here. Let's watch.
Thank you, Attorney General Bondi, for being here today. I'm going to show you two photos.
Thank you.
I'm going to show you two photos of former Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. Under the law Congress passed, you were allowed to redact photos to protect the victims of Epstein's sex trafficking operation. You redacted the photos of this victim's face because you were following the congressional law. Is that correct?
I'm sorry that we redacted the victim's
Because you were
face.
following the congressional law, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You have now established that please put the photos back up, that we are looking at a sex trafficking victim. Under the Federal Victims Trafficking Protection Act, not only is Jeffrey Epstein guilty, but anyone who patronizes Epstein's sex operation is also guilty of a crime. That's why I find it absolutely despicable that you sought to protect Epstein's clients, like former Prince Andrew. Last July, you closed the case on Epstein's abusers. The July 2025 memo from your Department of Justice stated, quote, "We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties." These two photos, please put the photos back up. These two photos staring you in the face are evidence of a crime and more than enough evidence to predicate an investigation against former Prince Andrew. So I ask you, Attorney General Pam Bondi, why did you shut down this investigation last July, and why have you not prosecuted former Prince Andrew?
I don't believe you asked Merrick Garland these questions when he was Attorney General and set before
I agree with you.
you twice.
What about Merrick Garland?
Yeah.
Like
that's all she has. That's all she has.
He lays it up. He lays it out perfectly, because he's like, you said, you said this. You said these words. You said that there wasn't anything else to investigate here. There's nothing else to look at, and we're closing the case. Why did you say that? And it's like, well, you didn't ask Merrick Garland these questions. Yeah, because he didn't say it, bitch. You did. Like,
Yeah.
I don't, but, and Robin says, bring him and ask him too. Sure. Like, I would like to know, why these previous administrations didn't look more into this, because obviously this was like the largest worldwide sex trafficking ring, in history. Like, this is, whenever all these things, that was going on about, human trafficking and all this stuff, it turns out like, and also there's the ties to like Jeffrey Epstein and the some of the QAnon conspiracy stuff and all that, but like, it turns out like, yeah, they should have done more about this, and I agree completely, but it's not an answer to why you did something of, well, why didn't you ask these other people? Like, that doesn't answer for why you're covering it up.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. And I mean, yeah, it's a whole bunch of whataboutism that, and the hilarious thing about all the whataboutism is she is not even smart enough to come up with all this shit on her own. She had to have her staff put together a binder of this kind of shit so she would know what to say. It's just, oh my god, what is this clown show we're watching? Holy shit.
And, yeah, they were still investigating this under Biden. Then they were incompetent. Then they failed, because there was plenty here that they had to know. They knew what was going on. The ties to intelligence tells you they knew this was going on. They knew that all of these people were involved in these other countries in this huge sex trafficking thing, and they did nothing to any of these people. That they were happy letting them get away with it. And so there are questions about other administrations and what they did, but that doesn't answer for why she's actively covering it up now.
I do have to say, don't insult clowns like that. Clowns don't deserve to be insulted like that. I mean, oh my god, dude.
Yeah. Intelligence is doing some heavy lifting there, yeah.
Very heavy lifting.
The big things about this is because the story that I hear people on the left often say is that, oh, well, okay, there was open cases with Ghislaine Maxwell, and there was all this, but no part of her case was about the ties to these people in other countries and things like that. Wasn't even part of it. It was the trafficking within the United States, girls going back and forth from Florida and New York and all that. But it was a much larger thing, and there were lots of people involved that just weren't that they knew were co-conspirators and they chose to not do anything about it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's honoring the whatever non-prosecution agreement with Jeffrey Epstein or what, but that's not binding to those other people. It's only they don't really have to honor that. So
Mm-hmm.
you,
Yeah.
me and you can make whatever deal we want, but that doesn't mean that somebody else gets to break the law because we made a deal about you
Yeah,
break.
exactly.
It just means you don't have to testify against those people.
Mm.
But okay.
Time,
Never
I agree
mentioned
with
it.
you. I agree with you. During
Were you not here then?
the Biden administration, I called for people looking at Epstein files. Merrick Garland dropped the ball, as did Attorney General Bill Barr, as did Alex Acosta, a whole string of failures. But you are in charge. You have the power to change things, to hold these men accountable, and you're doing the opposite. You're protecting them. So I want to move on to another man.
Can I answer
Donald
that,
Trump.
though?
I want to move on to another
Can I answer
question.
your question about protecting
You
Prince
answered the
Andrew?
question.
You're saying no. I love this.
I want to discuss another man, Donald Trump, who is all over the Epstein files, like former Prince. Here's the video. Like former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect.
That's not an answer.
No, it's not. Oh my god. Like, oh my god. Like, it baffles me. Like, what the fuck does she think is going to happen in 3 years when she's no longer Attorney General? Like, does she think she's going to be Attorney General for fucking ever? I mean,
Yeah.
holy shit, dude. Like,
Yeah.
people are never going to be held accountable, which is the biggest reason why, when this administration is finally done and over and out of office, there is no way we can let any single one of them get away with anything that they've done. Anything. We can't let them do it.
Does anyone think that it's a coincidence that all these people that Trump surrounded himself with are in this? Like,
No.
I mean, I understand, like, it's billionaires or whatever, and Trump likes to surround himself with billionaires, so you could maybe make that argument. But I don't think. I mean, there's plenty of billionaires that aren't there too.
Yeah.
Did you see the picture of? Why can I not get this to go away? Hold on. There it goes. Did you see the picture of them having this dinner party after Epstein has been convicted and everything? And
Oh,
you've
yeah.
got the Facebook douchebag and the other Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and all of them having dinner together. Like, there's part of this that we're missing, right? Of how it is that Jeffrey Epstein was able to have all this dirt on these people, because I mean, they know he's a convicted sex trafficker, or convicted of sex crimes anyway, and a registered sex offender. And these people are having dinner while people are just taking pictures of them doing it. I would be like, if I'm gonna sneak around and do something like that, I'm gonna be like, why the fuck are you taking my picture with this piece of shit? Like,
Yeah.
Like, how he was able to control all these aspects of these billionaires' lives through having dirt on him and stuff, and they allowed him to have the dirt for, I guess, pay to play type thing, which is
Yeah, I
understating
have
what
no
went on here a
idea.
lot. But
Yeah, I have no idea, but it's one of those that it shows that this entire class of people were all involved in this, and they thought they were never going to get caught, and if they got caught, that they could get themselves out of it, because most of the people who are neck deep in this thing now, they've never been held accountable for shit.
yeah,
So,
yeah, I just don't know. I think there's a bigger picture here that maybe in those other files that they're not releasing or whatever, but there's some bit of information that isn't, that brings all these things together, of like,
mm,
are these billionaires, are they actually paying, not only for this, but are they like, is there really a cabal of billionaire pedophiles that's making decisions in all these other countries? Like, is
it wouldn't surprise me at all.
because it kind of seems like Jeffrey Epstein had that kind of influence. Like,
Yeah.
world leaders were contacting him about their next move in doing various things.
I
Um,
mean, especially because, like, we know he was working with Israel, we know he was working with Russia. I mean, it makes some sort of twisted sense if world leaders are like, well, what do I do for this? Because he probably had a beat on pretty much what the rest of the world was doing too. And like gets it gets into the territory of
well,
it gets into the territory of him basically being able to at least kind of in the background run fucking everything in
well,
every country if everybody's constantly asking him.
so if that's the case, what
Mm-hmm.
about Jeffrey Epstein's like, religious slash political beliefs, as it is to like, he felt like the Jewish people were supposed to rule the world, and um, that everybody else needed to die, and all that, because there's some reporting about that. And if he is there, and I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody, at least that watches this channel, maybe some people that just watch it for the political stuff, but I mean, a lot of, I've covered a lot of religious stuff and various religions and all those things, and like, is there a religious tie to this, to where it's like, is this like a extreme right wing Israel thing, even though Epstein like backed Democrats a lot? Like, what?
Yeah, I don't like I've heard that, and I'm kind of I'm kind of the opinion that he's a lot like Trump, because Trump, before he ran for office, before Obama got elected, he was a fucking Democrat.
Sure.
Like, yeah. And I think it's one of those things that it's never been about this party, that party, or even about religion in general. It's just, I have all this money, what the fuck can I get away with?
Yeah,
And I
maybe.
mean, yeah, with Epstein, he might have originally started out with these political opinions and religious opinions, but in light of everything that he's done, I don't think he held any convictions like that, period. It was all what was good for him at that moment, and that was it.
Yeah, and it's like, you have these world leaders like Netanyahu and things contacting Epstein and like, oh, I'm out of the country in this place. I'll be back at this time, and all this.
Hmm.
Like, you have all these people that are checking in with Epstein, and these intelligence agencies that are cluing him in on their activities and stuff. And it's like, there seems to be a bigger picture that's not being shown here. And the I imagine there's some classified information as it applies to Jeffrey Epstein as well
Hmm.
because of that. But I don't know that we'll ever get a clearer picture of it. But It just there's a lot of questions that I think need to be
Yeah.
asked, and of multiple administrations, to be clear.
Oh yeah.
But Pam Bondi's
Not,
full of shit. She doesn't give
yeah.
an answer here. Instead, she swivels back to Donald Trump. Uh, Let me put
Does
my
she
nose
give
in
an
that.
answer at all to anything?
No. She on any question like Ted Lieu here, he didn't even say anything about Donald Trump. He asked her something, why. Well, he did include Trump, but
Yeah.
it wasn't directly about Trump. It was about, why did you say that there was no other people involved when clearly there is?
Yeah.
And you closed the case. And she goes to her go-to thing, which is Trump is Jesus, and you should say nothing wrong about him. But we'll let
Yeah.
her say it.
From all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files
I'm reclaiming my time.
be
I got your
released.
answer. You said there's no
President
evidence.
Trump asked
Mr. Chairman, please
I'd
stop
like
the
to
clock.
sign
Stop the clock.
the legislation. This is
Time.
this
I'd like
is
to
Time
reclaim my
belongs,
time.
time belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, and this is all on video.
She
Bitch,
needs
you
accused
did.
of several crimes.
Yeah, bitch, you did.
Yes.
Like, you did.
There is zero evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. First of all, just as a general thing to say, he's been convicted and found liable of several, so not related to this, but yeah. How can, okay, I imagine people use the statistic of like, oh, Trump's mentioned more times than Harry Potter and Harry Potter series. Trump's mentioned more times than Jesus in the Bible. I think Trump's mentioned more times than Epstein in these files. Like,
It wouldn't surprise me.
a million times? Like, do you
Yeah.
know how much space it would take to write the words Donald Trump a million times? Do you know
Yeah.
how long it would take to do that? Like,
Mm-hmm.
a million is a big fucking number whenever you start like trying to quantify it. Like, it's just insane that she can sit and say there's zero evidence that Trump did anything wrong here, when
Yeah.
we've seen what's there. And
Yeah.
and this has kind of been their MO lately, right? Don't believe your own eyes. Don't believe the things you see. Don't believe anything you hear or anything that's in black and white here. Believe Donald Trump. One of the biggest liars in history. Donald Trump probably would have the Guinness World Record for like the most lies told in some period of
Yeah.
time. Like,
Oh no, he does. Like, I don't know if it's like an official record, but he is probably the most documented liar ever.
it was what, like 37,000 lies during his first administration?
During his first, and I think he's almost like hit that this time around. Because if you remember, in the first administration, and here's one thing that I think kind of happened with him and him just being like so fucking bombastic and like not even trying to like apologize for anything, is when Charlottesville happened. I said, when
Yeah.
Charlottesville happened, if you remember, I think it was the day after, the day of or the day after, he came out and did like a short little thing, and it looked like a fucking hostage video. Like, it
Yeah.
did, because you could tell he was uncomfortable, you could tell that he hated what he was saying and all that. The next time that he came out, which was the next day, that's when the super famous that's when the super famous
There are great people on both
yeah,
sides.
both sides, thank you. And since then, he has kind of made it a policy that he doesn't back down from anything. He doesn't sit there and apologize. If he thinks that he didn't do anything wrong, then he sure as hell not going to apologize. And even if he does think he did something wrong, it's somebody else's fault, not his. I mean,
Yeah.
And it's just like this entire administration has been that attitude ramped up to like 10,000 times worse than it was in the first administration.
Yeah.
From day one. I mean, this is just
yeah.
It's been it's just been.
I mean, the series of executive orders and things by themselves was just like la 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 la. Like and Trump's involvement in crypto and how he set up a clear way to violate the emoluments clause and just that was the big thing that everybody was warning about for this Trump administration is he learned, or at least some people learned. I don't think he learned anything, but people learned that how he was unprepared for that, and they were prepared to do what they wanted to do, and that's why Trump's made billions of dollars and is now suing the government for $10 billion, which I wonder if they're really going to let that happen. Like, if is nobody going to stop this? And hey, Jess, good to see you. But
yes. Hello.
But yeah, the fact that like they're calling this out and everything, but let me be clear about this. The Democrats are going to take control of at least the House, certainly, and I think they're gonna win by a whole lot in a whole lot of places. I mean, I think it's going to be a bloodbath for Republicans. But if they're not willing to do something about this, if they're not going to hold these people accountable and not just remove people from office, if they're not going to prosecute people over this, then they need to fucking go too, because that people need to be held accountable for this. And it's not acceptable to just make the clip and get on the YouTubes and whatever like that. That's not good enough here. Your viral content for campaign purposes is not enough. They need to do something about this, and I hope that they actually take meaningful action against these people and don't let this shit fly. But all right, enough bitching about that. Let's see.
Tape. You said there's no evidence of crime. I'm showing you. Here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop the limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell, so should the men who patronized his operation. And as we sit here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing concludes.
The gentleman has expired.
May I respond?
Yeah, I don't know how you respond. No one can.
I did not ask a question, Ms.
He doesn't
You're
want
allowed
to talk
to.
about
I did
the
not ask a
horrific
question.
crime in California. He does not want to talk about
I did not ask a
crime
question.
in his
She
state.
can't just
Madam Attorney
ad-lib
General.
stuff. I did not ask a question.
Meeting will be in order. The gentleman has yielded back his time. I think our next.
Yeah. So again, those things. I don't know why she thinks it's reasonable to. All right, I don't think she gives a shit really, but I don't know why she thinks it's reasonable to sit here and be like, never mind the questions you ask me about my crimes. Why didn't you do anything about this thing in California? It's like, that's not what we're talking about. Do you think we brought you here to talk about things that happened in California that had nothing to do with you? This is oversight of the Attorney General and the DOJ. Like, it has nothing. What are you talking about? These are just, ad hom attacks meant to be like,
Yeah.
I say ad hom. I guess they're closer to red herring attacks. Like, but I'm not really sure what you would call that, because it's
Th-
a combination of things going on.
yeah. I mean, oh my god, this like I said, this entire hearing was so bonkers. I've watched hearings, like I said, for the last 25 years over some of the most boring stuff, some of the most salacious stuff that's been out there. I have never seen one like this. Like, this is insane. It's worse than whataboutism. It's
It's a whataboutism, but it's also these other things. Like, she's trying to attack them personally for not doing things that within the whataboutism.
yeah,
And
which she
it's
couldn't even do herself. She had to have her staff give her a little black book to do so.
yeah. And she committed perjury there. And also, to be clear, not only did they not interview that person who made that statement,
Mm-hmm.
um and I don't know if we show it here or not, but the victims that are there in the gallery watching, um they ask them, how many of you have met with the FBI or somebody from the DOJ, or
Mm-hmm.
have not met with them, is what they ask. And
Yeah.
all of them raise their hand, because they're not even willing to talk to the victims. They
No,
don't
they're
want to
not.
hear anything about these other people that committed crimes. Instead, they want to say that nothing to see here, folks. Let's forget this Jeffrey Epstein thing, just like Donald Trump's been doing. Well, the DOJ, they have more important things to do. No, they don't. This is what they're supposed to do. And
Mm-hmm.
like, it's just, it's embarrassing for the United States as a whole. Like, that
Yeah.
this is how our heads of various portions of our government behave. Like, you have
Mm-hmm.
Christy Nome. Like, it's the most ridiculous people. It's Christy Nome, the dog and goat killer that like goes around dressing up for events like she's some kind of, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know what word to use there.
She's
Uh,
cosplaying. That's what she's doing. She's
cosplaying.
cosplaying.
The but they all do that. Like,
Yeah.
it's and that's why he hired media personalities and things. Like, Pete Hegseth doesn't know shit about what he's doing, but he knows how to talk to a camera. Arguably,
Yeah.
I think he's an idiot, um
Oh, he is an idiot. Like,
but
pretty much everybody,
for
anybody who's ever known him pretty much agrees, yeah, this guy's an idiot.
for the majority of America, though, that are dumbasses, I mean, I'll defer to, what George Carlin said. The average person,
Mm-hmm.
that means, you look at the average, that means that most people are dumber than that. Like, and the average person's a dumbass. So it's
Yeah.
I guess it's meant to appeal and I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a dumbass in certain areas too. Like, I think everybody is, but the basic
Mm-hmm.
workings of government, like, it's your responsibility to know these things.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah, it is. And it's like, this is one of the things whenever he was paying for all his cabinet people for this, that's like, it was just like they were so fucking incompetent as a group that frankly at this point I'm almost thinking that was intentional, because if you were to block everybody to a person who does not pay attention to this kind of stuff, would be like, oh, well, they're being super partisan about this because they're blocking everybody. Well, yeah, but there's legitimate reasons to block every single person he put forth from his cabinet. And I mean, and the thing is keep in mind, before Pam Bondi was named AG, do you remember who the front runner was? Fucking Matt Gaetz.
Yeah, really.
Like,
And again, it was somebody who was involved in sex trafficking. Like
yeah,
Donald Trump purposely appointed or wanted to appoint all these people that had sex crimes and involved in sex trafficking around him because I guess he thought they would support him when he was accused of it.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I, and this is totally kind of off the top of my head, but kind of what it's starting to look like for me is
I got it. I got it.
sorry. Is it's starting to look like that basically the reason why they're all behind him is because, and the reason he picked the people he did is because they were all just going to protect each other and keep all this, I
Well,
mean, that's what it looks like. Is it looks like they're just all sitting there protecting the hell out of each other because there's some people who are still supporting Trump and are publicly doing so, and that you sit there and you think like, why the fuck would you still support him after all this? And I mean, this is like just before the all the Epstein files come out, and we learned some of the names that were in there that we did not know about. And then it fucking makes sense because it's like, oh, that's why they were hoping he could protect them from all this, and they in turn were going to try and protect him.
does it come down to all those tech bros that Trump had on stage during his inauguration, that all of them
I
were
think that's
involved in
part of it.
this?
I think
Does
that's part of it.
I think that Trump looked at his cabinet picks and was like, "Hey, Howard Lutnick, look, I know you're in these files too. You know you're in there, and
Mm-hmm.
I can protect you if you do exactly what I tell you to do. Hey, RFK,
Yeah.
you know, you're not ever going to make it anywhere with this, but if you come and do these things the way I tell you, I'll let you can destroy the DHS, whatever, but like, or not DHS, but
FDA, CDC.
yeah. The uh but the like, you can come and do all that stuff, just do
Mm-hmm.
exactly these things that I need you to carry out for me, and I'll protect you. These embarrassing things, I'm sure he promised that the
Yeah.
embarrassing things would never even come out, but that they for sure wouldn't be prosecuted over it. And
Mm-hmm.
like Pam Bondi, they're going to find out that you broke the law to help me down in Florida and took a big bribe and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Come and do my bidding, exactly what I say, support me, without question, and I'll save you from this.
Yeah.
I just wonder if that's the deal, or if it's just
I
shit
mean,
sticks together, like.
it's starting to look, because I mean, you think of, yeah, there's a lot of people in there, but there's also like, you can also think of like plenty of really wealthy people who aren't in the files,
Yeah.
and they have nothing to do with Trump. Or if they do, because they're just Republican shitheads, they're kind of on the periphery. They're not neck deep in this. Not like Elon is, not like Lutnick is, not like RFK is.
Yeah.
So,
And as to I could have run this administration better when I was 5. We could have elected Richard Nixon's cold dead body and be in a better
mm,
place than we are now. Like, um,
there is no question, because I mean, there's been several times over the last few years that lists have come out of like the worst presidents, and Trump's jumped around on the bottom, but he's always been in the top 3 worst. There is no doubt in my mind he is absolutely the worst and will go down in history as the worst ever, because here we have pretty much not even pretty much, we have definitive proof that he is a horrific pedophile, and we can't do shit to him
Yeah.
because
We've given the
the
president too much
agency
power.
that would be responsible for doing that is completely under his control.
So we like to say, well, America has the balance of powers, so that the judicial, the executive,
Yeah,
and the legislative branches can balance out that power
yeah.
and check each other. But over the years, we've given the presidency so much power that it's
It's
not true anymore.
it's
Uh,
it's not it's not even necessarily giving the presidency so much power. It's that Congress won't fucking find their backbone, which granted,
yeah.
yes, it's because it's run by Republicans and spineless Democrats right now. But
There's an imbalance of power, not a balance
yeah,
of power.
yeah.
Yeah. The
It's that,
legislative
and
branch
then
is incredibly weak, and the judicial and the executive is incredibly strong. But the executive, because of how weak the legislative branch is, the executive branch can appoint sycophants to the judicial branch, and
mhm,
that will do whatever they want. And so you have Donald Trump is acting as a dictator or king or whatever you want to call it. Not quite a king,
mhm.
because it's not a monarchy thing. It's like it's a dictatorship. But the the balance of powers have been so skewed. And do we really even need to have like someone does the president need to be put on such a pedestal rather than just
No.
being the manager of the executive branch?
I mean, what? I mean, this is the way, like, yeah, the president's always, like, it's always held, like, an air of respect for the office because it is a really powerful office, but, like, at the same time, it's just like, oh my god, like, what the fuck has he turned it into? And yes, like, it's been problematic for quite some time. Like, I'm not arguing that it hasn't been, but it's just like, yeah, it's.
Well,
I mean, the
you're the
Republicans are letting
historian
him
for
run
Nazi
wild.
Germany.
Yeah, yeah. The
How
Republicans are
did
letting him run wild, and the Republicans have essentially, as long as they control this branch of government, they're just going to hand it over to them. Like I said, it's starting to look like at least some of Congress is starting to find a backbone, and it's starting to look like maybe, and this is a huge maybe, but maybe SCOTUS might be getting a backbone with certain things.
so
So,
and I'm this is a serious question. It's not me making a statement. But
mm-hmm,
whenever we look back at Nazi Germany, how
mm-hmm.
was it that Hitler was able to take such absolute control? What was it that he did to place the Nazi Party in control of their legislative
It
branch?
was the Reichstag fire. Basically, he essentially worked his way in there. He was there was a deal made. He was named chancellor under um oh my god, my mind's gone completely out. But anyway, he was made chancellor, and it was basically a deal of like, okay, like, we'll do a coalition government. Then the Reichstag fire happened, and they essentially turned it around and claimed that it was a terrorist act, and
Domestic
essentially,
terrorism.
yeah, basically used terrorism excuse
Yeah.
for all that.
And so the remaining members
Hmm.
capitulated to
Yeah,
essentially give their power to him.
yeah, and if they weren't, they were absolutely terrorized. I mean,
Yeah.
I
So
mean
so
that's it. Hindenburg. Yeah, oh my god, I can't believe.
so when we
My
look
old professors are going to come for me now. I just completely blanked and could not think of the name for the life of me.
so when we look at the parallels of like ICE agents in the masked agents in the street attacking American citizens and causing
Hmm.
terror, the camps being built around the United States currently,
Hmm.
these huge camps that hold 6,000 and 8,000 people at a
Yeah,
time that they're building.
and Yeah, and the thing to keep in mind is you've got to remember with the Nazi concentration camps, they started building those in 1933. They were opening them in 1934. I mean, and on top of that, like the Holocaust did not start with the Jews. It
Right.
started with the disabled, and it started with the leftists, and it started with the socialists and the communists and people they didn't like politically. That is where
Anybody
it
with any kind of
started.
influence that opposed them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And this is why, like, I've seen the parallels for the last 10 damn years, and I've been screaming about this. And just now, people are starting to say, like, oh, you might have been right about this. Well, no shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, when
now
they
we
do
are
the exact same thing,
almost,
like we already know where this leads.
yeah, and
Um,
it's like we are almost past the point of, like, no return to where it's going to get horrifically bad.
yeah.
I think we're kind of on that precipice. I think it's really going to matter what happens this year on whether we go over that precipice or not.
Yeah. All
So,
right. So this is we'll stop several times through this because this is I think we've got Representative Scanlon, Massey, and uh, another one. I forget now. But I think there's three in this, so we'll have to stop several times. But
okay.
this is like a 15-minute clip.
On September 25th, President Trump signed a memorandum known as NSPM 7, purporting to address
Actually, looking at our time, let me skip ahead here because I want to get to to all right, let's see what we got here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Behind me, I have three documents from the DOJ production that are emblematic of the massive failure of the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. To my right is an email that was sent by the victims' lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names not to redact, a list of names not to release. What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email in the document production. Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. And they're getting phone calls. A lot of these people didn't want to be known. And we know you touched the document because you redacted one name and you redacted the lawyer's name, but you left the survivor's name there. The next document I want to show you, that was in the title, the victims' survivors' names, all right? The title of this one is Child.
That wasn't an accident. That
No,
was not a fucking accident. They did that on purpose, and they did it to intimidate the hell out of them.
they redacted the things to protect the people they wanted to protect and outed the victims here. I think that Trump, because the way that he operates historically anyway, is that he wants his base to attack these people if they say anything.
Yeah.
This is an intimidation tactic. I
Yeah.
mean, at least I think you could make the argument. I don't know that that's what it is.
No, I'm almost certain you can make that argument. I'm almost certain that's exactly what they're doing. The one thing Trump has been absurdly good at is fomenting stochastic terrorism. Like,
Yeah.
that's what he does. So he's like, well, I wish somebody would take care of this. And guess what? Someone goes and does it.
And just on a side note, Representative Hageman here, she's such a bitch.
Yeah, she is. I mean, I was no fan of Liz Cheney ever. And this bitch is the one who replaced her. Like, I'll take Liz Cheney over her any day. And I fucking hate Liz Cheney with a passion.
Yeah, Liz Cheney's not great, but she's not dishonest in the same way, right? Like it's
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
it's not the same thing. And by the way, I think everybody knows, but this is Representative Massey from Kentucky. So we've got a Kentucky tie in here. One of the very few Republicans who are willing to speak out about this, and has probably been one of the most effective people speaking out against this. And look, I don't give a shit what party you're in or who you support, but I mean,
Mhm.
for fuck's sake, like even us godless heathens understand the moral problem here, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I'm not giving actually the theists have some kind of moral high ground. I think it's quite the opposite.
Yeah, I was
You
about to
guys
say,
know
I
all
think
that.
we have the moral high ground, to be honest.
But like, I mean, it comes down to what's right here. I mean, everybody here they and you can go back and watch this. I didn't. Damn it! I usually remember to post the link in the description before this, but I'll post it here in chat real quick, and I'll put it in the description later. But this is for the full 4 hour hearing. But they gave the Republicans asked such softball, stupid, irrelevant questions whenever it
Mhm.
comes to conducting oversight. Whenever the DOJ and the FBI has
Yeah.
blatantly broke the law here over
Mhm.
and over, like tens of thousands of times within these documents, they broke the law by exposing victims' names, addresses, pictures. There's even there's even unredacted child pornography within these files.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I don't care that I disagree with Thomas Massey on almost everything, probably everything else. I'm very, very left of left on most things,
Yeah.
and the but this kind of thing, like they should all be outraged about this, and they sat and asked her the stupidest fucking irrelevant questions they could. These
Yeah,
people
because
need to go.
yeah, they're protecting their Lord and Savior. That's why.
Yeah,
Like anybody, I'm of the opinion at this point, anybody who claims they're Republican and claims they're Christian is just fooling themselves because they apparently think Trump is the second coming of Jesus.
yeah.
Like,
These these people need to go by any means necessary. Like that, whatever it is that needs to happen, they need to go. Uh,
yeah.
this is just this isn't a difference in opinion on policy or even their usual like just horrible
Mhm.
rhetoric and culture war bullshit attacking people. This is far worse than most of those things, although those things are terrible in a different way, I guess.
Yeah.
But intimidating the victims, like Donald Trump, some of these people are almost certainly victims of Donald Trump's as well,
Yeah.
and they're not really saying that because they know what'll happen.
Yeah.
But and I think that's what this is
I
about.
mean,
Like,
look,
put their names
yeah,
and addresses out there.
look at every person who's accused him of pretty much anything. They have all been just like intimidated, like mad. They've all been, um, like they've all had death threats. Like everybody who's accused Trump of anything, they've
Yeah,
all had this shit happen to them.
it
Like
comes.
the good thing is that all these fuckers right here, at least every single one of them is up for re-election.
Yeah,
Every single one of them.
yeah,
Take them out of office.
it comes down to like, okay, you have different ideals about how government should run, and I think that they're fascist and all that, and that's bad
Hmm.
enough. But like just decency, like common decency to people who were victimized as children and
Hmm.
trafficked internationally in the largest sex trafficking scheme ever. Like
Hmm.
they should be calling out why they're giving out their names and their addresses and their pictures and all those things, and not a one of them has anything to say about it.
Yeah,
Take
because
these
and
motherfuckers out
yeah,
immediately.
yeah, the Republicans don't have anything to say about it, and like as far like I said, I mean the DOJ absolutely did this 100% on purpose. I'm sorry, you can't sit there and redact one name out of that list on the email and the lawyers' names, and then go ahead and say like, "Oh well, we should have redacted this." No, like I mean, you don't. They put that out there for a reason.
Yeah, and you're right. Decency isn't a word you would use to describe the Republicans, but this kind of low to where it's like we're not even willing to say anything about the fact that we're not willing to talk to the victims or acknowledge they exist or any of this stuff other than doxing them. Like it's just it's a new low. It really is.
Yeah.
It's and this is from the party that's attacked trans people and gay people and black people. I mean every minority and marginalized group you can think of, they have directly attacked. And this is a new low.
Mm.
It's just
Yeah.
it's infuriating is what it is, if you can't tell.
Yeah. By the way, I will be on Vandalia's channel talking about Christian nationalism on Saturday, and that should be good if you want to see that. And also, speaking of Christian nationalism, on Ambushed Apostate, me and Seth have an interview coming out in the next day or so that should be awesome too. So check that out on Seth's channel at Ambushed Apostate.
Tell Seth to get that shit out.
I know. I've been trying to get him to get it out. I want to see it. It should be good.
Hey, what's up?
Friday.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I'll make sure it gets out on Friday.
I can't wait to get to hang out with Seth again. I had an excellent time hanging out with Seth, a good friend, and helped saved my ass in a lot of ways. Honestly, Seth did, which is a whole nother story. But
Yes, that's awesome.
I want to say real quick, Stephen Andrew official here. I think it's funny. It's Stephen Andrew official now. That's quite hilarious. But the thanks for helping me get over 1,500, Stephen. I appreciate it. But all right, here we go.
Sex trafficking, co-conspirators, fully redacted. And by the way, I'm going to unredact them here. Les Wexner is in this. Now, your your deputy attorney general said, oh, well, he appears hundreds of times in the files, but he doesn't appear in this file until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator, not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking, not to prostitution, not to money laundering, child sex trafficking. And then finally, what we have here is the third exhibit that I have is emblematic of the FD 302 release. These are the documents that we need that you're holding on to and over redacting because they have the names of the men who are implicated. How do we know? Because the survivors gave testimony to the FBI, and it's in there. And what happens when you go to the portal at the DOJ to look at what's behind this redaction? Another redaction. So we can't even see them. And then there's some of these files you've pulled down from the website that we will never see because we can't search the redactions. So I have several questions for you.
I think this is the most important point that he makes is they are concealing the witness statements. They gave out their personal information, but they made sure to conceal their statements when they were originally interviewed by the FBI back in pre-2008 when Jeffrey Epstein was convicted. They want to hide the witness statements. Why?
Yeah.
Because of who it implicates, obviously.
Yeah.
This
Yeah. And
this is the just
yeah. And they're doing everything they can, even though
poorly
it's
done.
blatantly illegal. They're doing everything they can.
They're so incompetent that their cover
Yeah.
up is obvious, right?
Yeah.
The cover up is they, if they hadn't tried to cover it up at all, they
Hmm.
probably would have done a better job of covering it up. Um,
Yeah.
because their incompetence always shines through.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is, I think this is one of the most important things that they need to get, and why it was redacted by the FBI originally
Hmm.
is a question that needs to be answered. And why? And also, let's be clear: Kash Patel committed fucking perjury over
Oh
and
yeah.
over again, and needs to be held accountable too.
Very much so. Yeah. I mean, they
And
all did.
it's not a question as to whether, oh, maybe this is perjury, maybe they should be. I mean, the committee, the House, the Congress in general is aware that it would do no good to refer these people to the DOJ, because this is the head of the DOJ. They're not going to prosecute themselves because they have no
Yeah.
integrity.
At the very least, though, we can at least hang on to the fact that perjury to Congress has like a 5-year statute of limitations, and this administration's only going to be 4 years, hopefully. So there's that.
So here's what I fear though
Hmm.
about all this is that the Democrats are going to take over and they're going to start to prosecute some of these people for their perjury, and they're going to remove people and all those things. They're going to start doing that. And they're going to find out that people are going to start saying, well, let's move forward. You know, you're stuck on this and retribution and all this. And it's gonna be unpopular after some extent, because people are going to lose interest in it, and they're going to be that they're
Yeah.
going to, because it's going to be talked about so much, they're going to be over it and worried about other things. And I don't
I
give a
think
shit. Like,
I think that's one possibility. I think the other possibility is if people get there, I think one thing that the Democrats should hammer home, if people start being like, okay, let's move on, being like Epstein files,
yeah,
pedophiles. You want us to let people who lied and protected pedophiles go, because that has such a gut reaction with people. I mean, if you think about, like, especially, in the first term and now and so on, like, people who were all wrapped up in the QAnon shit were basically buying everything Trump said, because he was the one who was going to, get rid of the pedophile ring that was in Washington, D.C. Yeah,
these
they didn't know that their guy was the one pretty much leading the damn thing.
these documents should have been sealed because they were part of what was given to the grand jury in
Uh,
some of them anyway. Not all of
yeah.
these would have been used.
There were a lot of grand jury stuff that was actually released though.
But
But
the law that they passed
yeah,
requires that the only thing that is redacted is victims' names and identifying information. They didn't do that. They went and redacted everything that was that that pointed to co-conspirators and stuff. It's the obvious cover. Anyway, let's let Thomas Massey ask his questions. We're getting towards the end here. I knew we wouldn't get through all this.
yeah, there's just too much.
Who's responsible? Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you
Anybody think she's going to answer the question here?
No.
able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document? Do you have that kind of accountability?
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a co-conspirator.
Can I finish my answer? Come on, let me finish my answer. We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
Reclaiming my time.
I'm going to answer this question.
Reclaiming my time.
Mr.
Chairman.
This is how this works.
Can I have my time back? Mr. Chairman.
The gentlelady can give her answer. The time belongs to the gentleman from
All right, I'm reclaiming my time.
Can I give my answer?
So
Yes.
I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman,
Because I
may I
have
give
another
my answer
question.
on that?
Here's
It's a political
the question.
joke, and I need to give my answer on that.
We'll let the Attorney General respond, and then the gentleman can move to his next.
Chairman.
I think that everybody should be pointing out that she called this a political joke, that they were caught covering up the co-conspirators. Yes, his name was mentioned in the files for a bunch of other stuff and a bunch of other reasons. This is where he was officially called a co-conspirator, though. And they hid that because they said there were no co-conspirators. Mm-hmm. They hid his name. Obviously, there was others there that they hadn't hid, but they hid his name specifically. Why? And why does she think it's a joke that he was implicated in child sex trafficking? Like,
yeah. I mean, the one thing, by the way, for people who don't know, I know Midas Touch download the files like the second they were available.
yeah.
And so they were able to get a lot of basically what was redacted then, and then look at it now, and so you can see what was redacted and what wasn't. But yeah, like, I get that she was doing this for an audience of one, but like, he's got to recognize just like, holy shit, how terrible this looks. But then again, he is also insane enough that he might just love the hell out of it too.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard to try and figure out what he's gonna do now, because he's just, it's like, it's so irrational on.
All right, couple more minutes and we're done with it here.
It's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question.
You can give
Within
me-
40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes
You
of me catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction out
Where
of
he's
over
listed as a
4,700,
co-conspirator.
and we invited you in.
Show the video.
This
Show
guy
the-
has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to
the
get.
video.
You're a failed politician.
I want you to watch the video.
Mr. Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the
himself.
rules here.
There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
Is that your position as well?
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I am reclaiming my time. I'm glad you're asking
about.
about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim
because
time
this
when
is
you don't-
bigger than
when you can't-
Watergate.
when I don't answer a question the way you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it.
And that's
now,
where the
I want to
most
know at
transparent-
what point did the FBI and the DOJ decide that Lex Wessner was not a co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it back on the screen, please. to release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not, and it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other men.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
May she answer?
And he's a hypocrite because he voted against the ban that we were talking about on deep fake AI porn. Only 2 people voted against it, and you were one of them, hypocrite.
The gentleman's time has expired. She didn't answer the question.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chairman, could she answer the question?
Chairman, I was wondering.
The gentlelady's allowed, the Attorney General's allowed to respond the way she wants to respond to any member's questions, Republican, Democrat.
All right, I have unanimous consent request.
Gentleman's recognized.
All right. Jim Jordan's complicit too, by the way.
Yeah.
So let's shift over to here because we've got only a few minutes left. If you want to vote in the poll, we have Why Did Turning Point USA halftime show with Kid Rock fail so hard? You can vote in the chat with hashtag capital A, B, C, or D. A is hard to watch through holes in bed sheets. B is Charlie Who. C is Kid Rock is a washed up loser. And D is incompetence is their thing. And if you want to vote more than once, you for more than one of these, you actually can. It'll let you vote more than once. But don't spam it. But if you want to say Kid Rock is a loser and incompetence is their thing, go ahead. I don't care. Like, this isn't a serious thing where it's kind of these are always kind of joking and having fun. This is just something to interact with you guys and let you have some input on things that we talk about and stuff. It's just a fun thing to do. So I'll look at this. We've got 4 minutes left. I don't care if we go a couple minutes over, but I'll give everybody a chance to enter their thing there. And there's also a link you can use too. And I post this stuff on my social media and in my Discord throughout the week. So you can vote in it early. It'll actually take you to a web page where you can vote as well. Yeah. And we're going to do these every week and give everybody a chance. I see lots of votes coming in and stuff. A, B, and C. Yeah. I see it.
All of the above.
Yeah. And that's fine. Like you if you think it's more than one of them, vote for more than one of them. Really close right now. We'll come back and look at the end and see where it ends up. Chat's going to go crazy over there because it hasn't updated since the beginning. But damn, watch it go. I'm a procrastinator. Yeah. Look, folks, I know that this subject is of a sensitive matter, and it's not happy, feel-good news and things like that. It's not fun, and it's not pretty. But the fact is that we have a cabal of sex predators running the federal government and others who are complicit by helping to cover up and lie for these people, and to the point they're willing to perjure themselves on the floor of Congress. So, I mean,
because the thing is they know that if they get in trouble for it and or like if they're likely to get in trouble for it, which they are, that Trump's just going to fucking burden them.
Yeah. Maybe I need to. I see that Big John Lovell here says I vote no. Maybe I need to include a thing in the polls to where people can like say that they disagree with the whole premise of the, like, it's supposed to be a joke, so I don't really give a shit, honestly. But like, there and we can do these polls like this is. Let me show you something cool here.
It has never failed. The one that I think is going to win every week never does.
Yeah, we can make these two look like. Let's see. That's not the right one. We can show the vote in any way that we want to. I don't like that one though. Gosh, that's a mess because of how long.
I was about to say, what the hell?
I like this.
That one works.
Just depends on what it is, I guess. But yeah, there's so I can do these polls in different ways, and if you have some uh, preference in a different way that I do these things, I add these little AI pictures onto the screen to kind of make it fun and stuff. But yeah, submit that stuff. Join my Discord, Kentucky Atheist Discussion on Discord. There's a link that's been going through chat, and you can contribute to that if you want. But let's go ahead. Well, we'll just go ahead and close this poll out. So it looks like the winner, Kid Rock, is a washed-up loser with 8 votes. That was my choice as well. It's. I think every week the audience has agreed with what I would pick as well. So if I had to pick one, but yeah,
I usually just go with the one that I think's the funniest.
Yeah. So yeah, there's other stuff starting. So if some of you are leaving or whatever, fine. We're gonna end this here. I do want to say though that Sunday. All right, so tomorrow I've got a new person that I met, an atheist from Kentucky, that'll be on the show, and I haven't posted that yet, but
cool.
We'll do that tomorrow afternoon sometime. Sunday, Cynthia McDonald's going to be here for Politicality with Lil and I, and we're going to talk about some issues relevant to her strengths and background and things, and also it's Black History Month, so some things that apply to that. So, but it's still going to be a political show. So be sure to be here Sunday, 1 p.m., same time as this show, and that's going to be fun. I don't know if I have anything Saturday. I feel like Saturday is Valentine's Day. I don't have anything scheduled for Saturday. And then Sunday, Cynthia will be here. That's right. So sorry, I'm awful at remembering what my schedule is. I have to set multiple reminders on my phone to tell me to get up and do things. But yeah. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and I hope that you've subscribed to Lil's channel, or if you're over there, you've came over here and subscribed. Both of our channels are growing a lot, and this show's been doing really well. And the average watch time on these shows is incredible. Like it's people are watching almost the whole show and stuff. So I'm glad that you have an interest in what we're talking about, and I love seeing the chat interact and talking with you guys. So keep it up, guys, and thanks so much for the support. Lil, whatever you got, and then we'll hit the button.
Like I said, I've got a interview with Seth on Ambush Apostate coming out on Friday, and Saturday I will be on Van Dahlia's channel talking Christian nationalism, and I'll be here Sunday, and then Monday morning, Java and Jugs. So,
thanks everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.